afternoon, all. Paul from CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, May 30th, last trading day of the year. You're looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and NQ. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to recap all of these charts, see where we look going into the final month of the second quarter. The market, the emotional trade in this market is obscene, for lack of a better word. Once again, we tried to go trend up, failed. Trend down, failed. Trend up, failed. And then we price probe. Now, righty ends with a 9, no they don't, only 8 wide, right? Yep, righty's only 8 wide. So righty ends with only the day's high and low and an 8 wide POC. And Q ends with the day's high, low, but a price probe, as they got far enough away from C's high when they made a new high. ES ends with only a 9 wide POC. Their price probe was minimal. I was debating whether I was going to call ES and NQ down. I said, coming out of that mini balance. But ES didn't even fill the gap. And even though NQ did, the way they came back inside, most likely, we'll look at the charts in a minute, but most likely going to call them balance. We said you're going to get a lot of chop inside of this, right? Well, you did. Even when they tried to come out, it provided some nice trades, but once they couldn't fill the gap and got back in, it became noise again as they took back the trend day. I had a good day. I mean, you really have to be on your toes at all times with this market. The way just tweets and everything else. Again, the market fell real hard in F&G on it because of China tariffs. Well, again, unless they reneged on it, why did we go back up? Not only did we go back up, we made new highs on the day. It's all bullshit. Please remember that. These algos, uneducated or moron traders and mindless machines. My first trade of the day was actually a loss in A period. I took a trade thinking I'd get some ebb and flow with the way it was pushing down. Took a loss on it, but I did another one and did okay on it. Nothing great. A wasn't really providing a lot. Remember, the overnight was totally short. We had zero inventory adjustment as we went straight down. B period. I'm trying to think if I don't have that written down. I had to get A's high. No, B period. First I took a long, yes, I'm sorry. First I took a long on an ebb and flow because the way things had changed and had pulled back up. And then I got a long to get A's high. Not a lot, but I got it. And let me tell you, it was torture because I bought it. I'm in 8-tick increments here, so it doesn't look that far away from A's high. But I bought a 5 lot at 82, I believe. Went against me pretty good, but I held on and I got 92 out of it. I got 50 points out of it. Again, I don't have a problem for a 1-for-1 trade. That trade was 1 for 2, basically, because it went 20 points against me. But I really felt the odds of getting A's high at that point were good. Okay? C period. Not as much torture in the NQ, but still not the easiest. But again, I got the IB high with a good lot. ES was definitely more accommodating, getting A's high and getting the IB high. Now, at that point, we still had no overnights. So I kept telling the room, we still have overlap and lower value. Yes, we have the IB high, but back and forth through the opening, no conviction, value overlap and a lower. I said, everything's on the table. Well, lo and behold, that happened. Had a really, really good F and G period. I got the short and F to get the overnight low, and then I murdered them in G period, also with shorts to get the IB, I got the overnight low and the IB low in F, and then in G period, I don't know why I have G written here. It was F period. I got the IB low and the overnight low. And then G period, I got great ebb and flow trades and the gap fill from the 27th. H period, I was short against single prints. Then things started changing. So I waited and I didn't do anything to J period. First short was against a single print fill. I made small on that. Then it was at half back. Remember, half back was at a different level. It was a little different. We made new highs and a little ebb and flow, but not a lot. I thought maybe potentially we could have an afternoon rally high, but I did okay. And then that was it. KL and M. I'm like, well, here come the Stooges, and it's the end of the month. Who knows what they want to do? And obviously they went and probed. Small one in ES, but a much larger one in NQ. Now, let's go to the charts. Again, before I go there, I recommend you guys and gals coming to check out camelbacktrading.org for what live webinar every day. And these markets have been very, very difficult to navigate. They have not been accommodating at all. Okay, so here's IWM. The month's over. It's a 3-month balance. Okay, I'm going to use March's high because I think that's we need to get over that. Some people might say if we take out this month's high, they're going to call it up. I don't have a problem with that, but I'm going to use March's high. So it's a 3-month balance. Very nice month and a great move off of April's lows. The weekly is balance. Okay? It's a 3-week balance and it's an inside week. So we're looking for more MGI. 3-week balance and it's an inside week. The daily, again, it's tough. Is it down or you want to call it 4-day balance since they came in? I'm going to call it balance because you know what? Righty also did not fill their gap. So I'm going to call this a 4-day balance. Very indecisive candle. Look at that on the daily, and look at this also on the weekly. So guess what? Righty is balanced on the monthly, 3 months, weekly, 3 weeks, daily, 4 days. That's a market still waiting for MGI, my friends. NQ, monthly, balance. However, I'm going to use this month as my balance high. Okay? Again, you could use the all-time high if you want. But since they took out this month pretty good from March, I'm going to call them balance, but use this month's high as my balance high. So if we come out of it, I'll call it up. But please, please don't think, I still know taking out the all-time high, monthly high is going to be very important. So we're balanced now for 3 months. The weekly is up. They're one-time framing up 5 weeks. 5 weeks one-time framing up. Pretty good, right? And the daily, again, this is such a tough call. They filled the gap. You want to calm down, you can. Or do you want to just call it still balance and use this whole thing? It's very subjective. I like the candle, the way it came off the lows. I mean, ES and Righty held the gap. They didn't. I'm going to probably still call them balance, at least for now. Again, you can call it a mini 4-day balance or this whole thing. Again, no change is going to take place unless we come out. Now, I thought we did yesterday. Remember, the daily was up for 2 hours until we took out the previous day's low yesterday afternoon. So the balance continues. So what does that mean? Monthly and daily are balanced. The weekly is up. The S&P. It's a 3-month balance. March, April, May. Nice looking candles, right? We're also up on the year now by about a little over $3, right? The weekly is balance. Inside week. 3 weeks of balance. Still holding the weekly gap. We all are, by the way. ES and NQ are holding their weekly gaps. Okay? Right? They filled the daily gap not the weekly in triple Qs. Let me see something real quick. I apologize. IWM. They filled theirs, right? Yeah, okay. So it's only ES and NQ that hold the weekly gap. So it's a 3-week balance with an inside week. Hopefully that's going to provide a decent opportunity. And the daily, again, initially I was going to call down. Remember, this is a wrong candle. It's annoying as hell. And the weekly's off too. But we never filled the gap. So to that end, again, either a 4-day balance or this whole thing. All right? Again, unless, I know I beat it to death, but you see the chop you're getting. You see the way the scorecard constantly changes on our checklist sheet. That's because you're all inside of here. Excellent volume, 80, well, not excellent. Good volume, 88 million. I'm really impressed by NQ, 67 million. I know it's the end of the month, but they got above their average volume prior to like 3 o'clock. So good volume, even though, again, it could have, some of it is definitely due to the end of the month. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Rest up, enjoy your weekend, and we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.